we came off a collision, and I was sitting in my car, and I pulled home, and I looked out into my yard, and I literally was just like, God, where would I be if it wasn't for you? Like, it's so easy to dismiss God until you realize who you would be without him. What type of person would I be? And it's so easy to just say, God, like, I don't need you, until you realize that down the road, what am I going to become? Who's the person that I want to be? Who's the person that I'm going to be? And we're just a ragtag group of guys up here, man. We don't have it all together. We don't have every piece of the puzzle. We don't know. The only thing we know that is certain is that Jesus Christ is our Lord. And where would I be without him? And every single one of you has a story and a testimony, and a place where you were, and a place where you are, and a place where you are now, and a place where you're going to be. And what the decisions you make and the people that you let in your life. And guess what? The God who you decide or not to decide to let in your life plays a part on who you will be and who you are right now. Each one of us, man, like I think of Teach, man, this guy, dude.
Something special, huh?
Something special, something.
I got all choked up in that song, that first opener, because that was my testimony. I grew up. Sorry. I grew up with a disease called cerebral palsy, and what it does is it attacks your brain, so that your brain doesn't send signals fully to certain parts of your body. And I was already just born broken down. I had to go through so much. My parents got divorced when I was 10. I tried to bury the pain with drugs, alcohol, and when I turned 21, I started selling alcohol to minors because I just felt cool and I thought it would be cool, and I just felt like I was worth something, and I was finding my worth in all these earthly things. And I was finding myself knee deep in sin at my last point, and there was no coming back for me. I either had a choice. Fight or die. And I chose to fight.
I feel like the alcohol and the drugs, and it played a part in your life, man. And played a part in your life. Now I know Diesel, I know that with you, that was such a huge part of who you were.
Yeah, it was all about fitting in, just drinking, partying on the weekends. You get your group of friends, and that's what it is. And you aren't really heading down a good path or nothing. And then on top of it, I was rapping. And it wasn't rapping for God, so.
Yeah, I see your mama back there. Was she listening to them raps, or?
She did.
I heard some of those.
They weren't good.
Yeah, I think, I used to party with Deso. So, the alcohol and the drugs really play a huge effect. When I was growing up, didn't think I was gonna, get to this point in life. Started doing drugs at a young age, and started living for that. Anything I could get my hands on. And honestly, I'd probably be dead if I hadn't made the decision I made from either an overdose or a car accident, or, I have so many friends who have overdosed or been in car accidents, and now the only friends I have are all of you guys. So
Sorry. I'm just kidding.
Crying shame, huh?
Yeah. Oh man, sorry, dude.
For me, I'll be 100% with you. I was never like a druggie or anything like that. A lot of the stuff that I went through, or that I put myself through, was internal. I grew up going to church, but I grew up as a very religious person. I didn't have like a real relationship with God. It was all just surface level. I was just going to church every Sunday, trying to look good, and I was so clouded. My judgment was so clouded. I was so deceived by thinking that my righteousness, all the cool stuff that I was doing, how I looked good on the outside, was how I was getting to heaven. And I was so deceived that I couldn't even see that it had nothing to do with me, but that it was only through Jesus Christ that I could be with the Father.
That's good. See, it says in Revelation 2:4, I think this hit me. This hit me so hard. I was sitting in my car, and I literally heard, I would be dead, I would be suicidal, I would be depressed if it wasn't for Jesus. And the things that I thought were bad, the things that I look at these guys, and I'm like, dude, the things that God has helped you overcome, the place that God has taken you, He's taken you from such a dark place, such a desolate place, into so much light. And it says in Revelation, it says, but you walked away from your first love. Now this is God talking. He's saying you walked away from your first love. Why? What's going on with you anyway? Do you have any idea how far you've fallen? And there's points in my life when I need to remember who is my first love, because where would I be without that? Who would I be? I would be nothing. I would fade away. You would see on my tombstone, you'd read my name in 100 years there, who is that? I don't know who that is. It's just some tombstone. I'm just some person who used to live. I'm gonna have great-great-grandkids who don't even know my name. What's my purpose? What's my point? Why am I here? It's the story that you tell, the word of your testimony, of bringing it back to the first love. That's the thing that has eternal impact. That's the only thing in your life that lasts eternally. And that's the one thing I want to keep reminding myself to get back to. And you guys, we have to understand that there was a point in each one of these testimonies where God said, come back to me. Come back to the first love. Even if you didn't have a first love for me, guess what? I had a first love for you. I loved you before you were even born, before someone even imagined you. I loved you before your parents were here, before the earth was made. I've loved you since then and forever, eternally. And that's the only thing that is eternal, is His first love and His lasting love that keeps going. Teach, like when you were in that place, you heard God.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. How'd that happen?
How did that happen?
Yeah. Where'd He bring you out of that desolate place?
He brought me out of that place when I was sitting in my room, fed up, tired of it all. And he came in my room and he spoke to me because I was about to grab some pill bottles and just down them because I was just done. And he spoke to me. He came in my room and he literally spoke to me and he said, TJ, I got plans for you, but you got to live them out to try to figure out what they are.
He started coming to Gateway. We started seeing a new life. I remember I went to high school with him, or I went to elementary school with him, and I saw him walking. We were with the guys, the Risemen, at our guys event, and I literally just went, "Is that TJ Shutter?" And I walked away and I started bawling my eyes out because I was like, he's bringing him back to the first love. He's bringing him back. I'm so excited. Deso, what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just, I don't do what I do anymore, and I got married to an awesome lady, and we got an awesome family, little dogs, and an awesome house. And
dude, you got engaged right at the front of the church.
Got engaged in front of the church, and she comes to the Gateway with me too, and we fell in love with each other because of Gateway. Like, she did not like me until Gateway. So I was just some guy, and but yeah, it's just awesome. I'm so happy with where I am today, and I'm just excited to see what the future holds.
And then this guy right here, man. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I mean, the Lord just kind of, I mean, we always talk about how the Lord seeks us out. And the Lord kind of sought me out. I came in here strung out. Pastor Dave was playing guitar, comes down, prays for me. Just the Lord wrecks me, starts saying things I'd never told anybody. And long story long, I get pulled over, stuffing some drugs in some places. The cops roll up. I'm like, Jesus, if you're real, don't let me go to jail. I don't like jail. It sucks. And so, And then he's like, Lord, if you allow me to get away with these drugs, I promise I won't do them. I'll throw them all away. But I'll chase you wherever you go, however far it is. I don't know what I know. I don't know anything about you, but I'll chase you forever. And literally, the cop goes, hey, man, you don't got anything on you. The dog said you're good to go. And so I came here on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and Pastor Steve was preaching a message called Posers, and I was like, man, I'm such a poser. I don't even hunt, and I got camo pants on. What the heck? And,
Poser.
Yeah, so...
Dude, this guy's rocking that like beach bash flow. That's what I'm talking about. Poser.
Him and I are going to Hawaii later.
It's $350. I can't pass it up. No, but on a serious note, the turnaround point came for me. I don't know if you guys know my sister Jackie, but we weren't always like super tight. Yeah, me and Jackie didn't always really get along. In fact, I really disliked her because she was like straight wildin' for a while, and it made me mad because I was her brother. And one summer, she got invited to Gateway, and I was like, whatever, Gateway, like we got a church. You don't need another church. But all of a sudden, like a month later, I'm starting to look at Jackie's life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jackie's acting more like Jesus than me, which isn't saying much, but at the time I was like, shoot, and I was like, well, I got to get my act together. So, and so I came to, and we had this moment where the Lord just absolutely wrecked me. It was like August 10th, and ever since then, like me and Jackie made up, and like the Lord just had a nice tight grip on both of our lives, and it hasn't been the same
That's awesome.
since.
That's awesome. See, I think that there's a point in everyone's life where God is saying, come back to my first love that I have for you. I have a plan, I have a purpose, I have a point. You're not just here, you're not just like living to live and then die. There's a point, there's a purpose, and there's a point in which eternity meets with your life right now. There's a point in which eternity meets with your life right now. And he's saying, come back to this first love. That song was written as a testimony. That's our testimonies. That's people's testimonies saying that I was so in the dark. I was so blind to everything. There's a lyric where he said, I feel like I've had hell's fire as my nightlight. I need to come back to this first love. So as we bow our heads and close our eyes, I want to offer an opportunity for you to say, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to this first love. Where would I be without him? If you say that's me, if you say maybe for the first time you say I want to receive this first love that he had for me, or maybe you had a love before and you say no, I need to return back to it. Everyone's head bowed, eyes closed. I ask if that's you, can you raise your hand in the place? Say that's me. Yeah, thank you. Say I need to come back to this first love. Thank you. So many hands. Thank you. Anyone else? You say I need to come back to this first love. Thank you. This love that Jesus had for me on the cross, and he has for me, and he will always have for me, this continual first love, where I can look back 20 years from now and say, where would I be without you, God? Thank you. I want us to pray this prayer, and this is a prayer, it's called the sinner's prayer, and the reason it's called the sinner's prayer is because what it's saying is that, God, I am a sinner, but I need this first love. I need you in my life. Say this with me. Say, Jesus, I'm a sinner. I'm messed up. I'm in a dark place, and I need light in my life, in my mind, in my heart. Jesus, meet me here. I need you. I believe you died. You rose again for me. And for everyone here, I love you so much. And everybody said, Amen. Hey, give a hand for Jesus tonight. Yeah, Jesus.